Hey, folks, we've got a big league announcement for you. Coming soon, First Star Logistics and In the Trenches with Dave Lapham will be showing our appreciation for your support as both listeners and viewers with a humongous giveaway. I'm talking massive, worth over $5,000 in cash and prizes. $5,000? You kidding me? Unbelievable. So make sure to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, follow me on Twitter to find out when it launches, and get all the details. Don't be left out of this one. You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, and we're talking about Lamar Jackson. Such a unique weapon. And, you know, Lamar Jackson was the last pick in the first round when he came out of Louisville. And really, it was a commitment by the Baltimore Ravens organization. Their owner, Bisciotti, listened to John Harbaugh, who listened to Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator. John Harbaugh and Greg Roman had a vision. They said, we're going to draft Lamar Jackson. We're going to create and structure an offense around Lamar Jackson. We're not going to draft Lamar Jackson and try to plug him into this NFL pro-style offense that he may have struggled with. What they did was brilliant. They basically said, we have this gem, and we're going to make sure that we polish the gem as much as we possibly can by surrounding it not only with great teammates and players, but scheme that emphasize his strengths, not scheme that don't. I mean, it's been a perfect marriage. Lamar Jackson could not have gone to a better organization than the Baltimore Ravens, with Bisciotti as the owner, listening to his head coach, John Harbaugh, and his offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. And man, have the results panned out. They have a very, very unique offense. This offense, in an era where everybody talks about, wow, this passing attack, all these different personnel groups, all these different formations. Wow. They do it with the running game. They have a myriad of personnel groups and formations and motion and window dressing. They challenge you mentally in the running game as much as most NFL teams challenge people in the passing game. You have to be gap sound against the Baltimore Ravens. You literally, you have to have eye discipline and gap discipline. If you don't, I mean, they'll run the option until you stop it. And if you can't stop it, if you can't stop the dive, and then Jackson pulling it out and running the football, you're going to have a long day. And that's just the very beginning of it. They have so much they can do off of this offensive scheme that Greg Roman's put together. And he always holds something back and then springs it on you on a weekly basis, particularly against division opponents, because these division games are so important. But Lamar Jackson, some of his numbers, I want to make sure I get these right. 392 rushing yards is 7th in the National Football League. 1,686 passing yards is 9th in the National Football League. He's run for the 7th most yards and thrown for the 9th most. He's a one-man show. His running game, his personal running game, sets up his personal passing game. How many quarterbacks can you say that about? He's got 24 first downs rushing. That's tied for 4th in the National Football League. On 4th down, this guy has completed almost 71% of his passes on 4th down, 9.44 yards per attempt. That's 3rd in the National Football League. Don't tell me he can't throw the football. This guy gets you worried about the running game, and then he'll slice you up throwing the football. I mean, he is a unique talent. He's probably one of the 3 fastest guys in the league as a quarterback. The other thing about him is he'll extend and create plays. Sometimes the plays that he ends up improvising are better than the play that was called, because he breaks you down. You know, when it's freelance and he's playing backyard football as such, extending and creating, now you get problems. You don't know whether to attack him, stay back. He's going to run it. If you attack him, he's going to throw it over your head. I mean, it's unbelievable, the plays that this guy can create. Not only fast straight line speed, but he can change direction. He can stop on a dime. He can be going full speed and come to a complete stop and jump cut, like, you know, the great running backs. I mean, he's Barry Sanders with a throwing arm. It's unbelievable to watch this guy, the things that he can do physically. So he's a unique challenge. There's no question about it. You have to play great team defense, and you have to be assignment sound. And there was an old defensive coach over the years that I had great respect for that used to say, Harvest your own crop. Worry about your gap responsibility. Don't start peeking over into another one and say, you might need some help. I'll help you. Don't be doing that. As soon as you try to help him, they're going to expose yours. Everybody do their job. Stay in your gap. Take control of your area of responsibility. That is going to be huge in this football game. And recognition and communication is going to be huge in this football game. Lamar Jackson is going to pose a big, big problem. Teams have tried to spy him, the Bengals being one of them. The thing is, if you spy him, you have to be able to get him on the ground. There's probably not an athlete in the NFL that defensive players fear more in space one-on-one than Lamar Jackson. Believe me, you don't want to be one-on-one with any kind of space, and he can make you look bad. He's the kind of guy you can be in the phone booth and play tag, and you're it the whole time. You're not going to be able to touch him. He is different, just a different character. Linebackers, how are linebackers going to run with him and get him on the ground? Safeties, now you're taking somebody out of coverage and using them as a spy. He better be able to get him on the ground because you got one less guy in the back end, and Lamar Jackson might be able to take advantage of you throwing the football. He presents such a myriad domino effect of problems. It's amazing. I think you go into a football game like this, not saying we're going to stop Lamar Jackson, saying you're going to control Lamar Jackson. You're going to try to limit Lamar Jackson. Nobody stops Lamar Jackson. This guy is ridiculous.